think they do. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, that was a horrible, horrible day. Wait a minute, I'm not finished. I'm not finished, fake news. That was a horrible day.
I asked at the previous estimates some questions in relation to the Violence Against Women campaign. That campaign, and I asked in particular about the research that informed it, and it stated, without giving any citations, and I quote here, "There is a clear link between violence towards women and attitudes of disrespect and gender inequality."
Senator, the campaign is based on a range of research, including international and domestic research, including the World Health Organisation preventing intimate partner and sexual violence against women, taking action and generating evidence, as well as the ANRA's research for the Australian Bureau of Statistics Personal Safety Survey. A variety of these research pieces go to one of the key elements that go towards violence against women is disrespectful behaviour and gender inequality.
Yes, okay, well, you didn't quite answer my question, but anyway, you did refer to the WHO report. Are you arguing that the WHO report indicates that of all the factors, gender inequality is the heart of the issue?
No, in the campaign we don't argue that gender inequality and disrespectful behaviour is at the heart of the issue. It is one of the contributing factors. It's not the only contributing factor to violence against women.
What else does the WHO report suggest is responsible for violence against women?
I actually don't have the full details of that report with me, Senator.
The WHO report lists individual factors: low income, low education, sexual abuse, parental violence, antisocial personality, harmful use of alcohol, illicit drug use, acceptance of violence. It lists relationship factors, multiple partners, infidelity, low resistance to peer pressure, and it lists community factors, weak community sanctions and poverty, and societal factors, traditional gender norms and social norms supportive of violence. So in none of those does it actually nominate gender inequality as a key contributor. Now, the sixth paragraph in your response refers to an unpublished 2007 paper by Michael Flood and also a report of a survey by Vic Health. The unpublished paper by Michael Flood, did it support the contention that disrespect and gender inequality were more important contributors, or did it compare them to other contributors like poverty, alcohol abuse and drug abuse?
Senator, I'm not aware it gave it any greater importance in that research.
Did the survey compare the contribution of disrespect and gender inequality to violence against women against other factors like poverty, alcohol abuse and drug abuse?
I'd have to take that on notice.
You have to take that on notice. In fact, we found that the survey only measured reported attitudes to violence. So attitudes, in other words. So I'd like to go a little further into that survey. That survey, which you cited as a source for a reference source for to underpin the Violence Against Women campaign, it states that it is an area of concern that only 60% of young people agree that violence against women is common. So that raises the question, can you definitively say that violence against women is common? And I mentioned that because the most recent ABS personal safety survey indicates that 1.5% of women reported experiencing violence by a partner or ex-partner during the previous 12 months. So 1.5%, I mean, I suppose depends on your definition, but I'm not sure that that would qualify from my definition of common. I'm not going anywhere on this by suggesting violence against women is acceptable or desirable or anything other than something to be avoided. But what I am questioning is the commitment of taxpayers' funds to a program for which the suggestion was, as I raised last estimates, the fundamental assumption is there a clear link between violence towards women and attitudes of disrespect and gender inequality. Now, there's a 2013 United Nations page quantitative study on male violence against women in Asia and the Pacific by Fulu et al. It indicated that low gender equitable attitudes were less important factors explaining intimate partner violence than nearly every other factor listed, including the number of lifetime sexual partners, childhood abuse or neglect, the lack of education, food insecurity, depression and alcohol abuse. Do you consider this UN study to be a credible source?
I'm not privy to the detail of that study, Senator, so I can't make comment on it.
What I'm suggesting to you is that there is a danger, and I'm suspicious that you have selectively taken the evidence rather than taken it as a whole, because what you've sent me so far does not do it justice in my view, and I suspect that the program is misdirected, and it could be more successful if it was redirected.
Do you think overweight people are just lazy?
I do think overweight people are lazy. The hardest thing to do is to stand in front of the mirror, say that you have got the problem, you've caused the problem, there's no excuses, and you're the only person that can do something about it.
I kept waiting in the specials for you to address other issues, Katie, such as, thyroid problems, medical issues, genetic predispositions, socioeconomic status, income, education, and none of that was mentioned.
What you did right there is what everybody does, and it's what I won't stand for, and what I don't think America should tolerate anymore either, and that's a whole list of excuses as to why it's not your problem. Well, learn this and learn it well. It is your problem.
I would like to, for a moment, ask you some questions about the economics of job getting in terms of the blacks versus the whites. The statistics I was able to pull together indicate that at the present time, white males make $17,427 on an average basis for the year. Black males make $12,738. White females make $10,244, and black females make $9,476. It is clear from these figures, as indeed I think it's clear to most of us from what we see, that there is a discrimination against blacks and against women in our present system. Since not all blacks will be superior, how would you try to even that out so that there would be some equality of job opportunities?
Yeah, I'm sorry you missed the earlier part of the program when I pointed out that where you find people not represented evenly, that does not show the institutional effect, because almost nowhere in human affairs do you find people evenly represented. If you compare comparable people with respect to age, with respect to education, etc., you get a totally different picture, both with respect to blacks and women. Now, the figures that I saw, for example, show more recently that if you take black families where the husband and wife are both college educated and compare them to a white family where the husband and wife are both college educated, the black family is now earning $2,000 a year more. The problem is that very few blacks fall in that category. That when you compare category for category, then we're talking about getting people a decent education. I'm saying that you cannot say that numbers collected at the employer's place of business reflect simply the employer's policies. Those numbers reflect underlying conditions in the whole society, just as numbers collected at a hospital do not show you that the people are sick because they're in the hospital.
No, I would agree with that, but you would also have to agree that, generally speaking, women are paid less, for example, for the same jobs as men.
No, I would not. I would not agree with that. If you're talking about women with the same number of years of experience, with the same continuous service, etc., then when I look at that, I don't find that disparity. I find, for example, in many cases, the women are making more, depending on how you break the data down. The difference with women is between married women and everybody else. That's the real difference.
Well, even as to single women, the Census Bureau statistics, the most recent ones I could find, 1978, say that single men are earning $11,100 and single women are earning $9,300.
Yes, I love the word single that is used. When I did my study, I didn't use single, I used never married. You see, a woman who is single at age 40, having spent 10 or 20 years raising children, is really not quite the same as a man of age 40 who's been working continuously for 20 years.
And the differential she cited is not that great, so it could easily be accounted for by the point
Yes,
you
because when I
raised.
break them down the other way, I did this for the academic world, and there I found the women who are never married, which is the term the way I take it. There they were earning more than the men. And similarly, when the government did data some years ago on women who had been working continuously since high school into their 30s, there you found that they were making slightly more than men of the same description. So the difference is between married women and everybody else. And married men get an extra bonus because their wives take care of many things that enable them to put more time into their careers.
I'm sure you're aware of the fact that there are approximately 15% of all homes in which there is only one wage earner. So that when you talk about women being able to take care of things for their married mate wage earner, the fact is that in the overwhelming majority of American homes, the women also work. And therefore, I don't think your explanation that women have other responsibilities and that's why they are...
Work can mean part-time work or full-time work. Women do not work full-time to the same extent that men. Part-time workers make less than full-time workers.